All right, Chris, thank you for that report. Well, that's going to do it for us today. I'm Michelle London. Denver 7 News at 5 starts right now.
Now on Denver 7 News, who's to blame for Elijah McLean's death? We're getting a clear look at his autopsy report.
It's going to end up being a battle of medical experts, in my view.
We dig into the new information with experts and find out how it could impact those indicted in connection with his death.
Plus, an arrest gone seriously wrong in Weld County. The shocking moments when a train hits a patrol car with a woman inside.
It's a situation where I'm sure there are multiple laws that have been broken.
Now her family is demanding answers from the police department.
And a kidnapping attempt in Thornton has parents on edge.
No parent, wants to hear about their child being almost abducted, especially by a school where, they're supposed to be safe.
How school districts are taking action to make sure your kids are safe. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Jessica Porter. The amended autopsy report for Elijah McLean was released this afternoon. The change was made after the Adams County coroner received new information that was presented to a grand jury looking into the 2019 incident in which McLean was detained by Aurora police and injected with ketamine by Aurora Fire paramedics.
So we want to bring in Denver 7's Jennifer Kowaleski with an in-depth breakdown of the report and what it means for the case. And Jen, I know you read through this report, you spoke with experts, so what do you make of this?
Ann and Shannon, well, first of all, Ann and Jessica, this new autopsy will be a critical piece of evidence moving forward. Some of the big changes were with ketamine. The report now says McLean would most likely be alive if he wasn't injected with the sedative. But it also found no evidence the officers who detained him played a role in his death. And legal experts we talked to say the changes could actually help their defense.
Your favorite, stop right there.
Elijah McLean was just a young man on his way home from a convenience store when someone called 911 saying he looked sketchy and was wearing a ski mask.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious. Stop. Relax. Stop. I'm going home.
Aurora police officers put him in a carotid hold.
So when the ambulance gets here, we're going to go ahead and give him some ketamine.
Minutes later, paramedics inject him with the powerful sedative ketamine. His death would spark outrage across the country. Those voices would help lead a grand jury to indict 3 Aurora police officers and 2 paramedics. And at the center is now this amended autopsy report. McLean's original autopsy ruled his death undetermined. In the amended autopsy just made public, the coroner changed the cause of death to complications of ketamine administered following forcible restraint. But the pathologist wrote in the new opinion that he has seen no evidence that injuries inflicted by the police contributed to death. And while it now acknowledges paramedics gave McLean too much ketamine for his weight, and he did overdose, the amount was still within therapeutic ranges.
I think that these reports certainly help the police officers, if not exonerate the police officers, but I think they also help the paramedics that are charged in this case. They're not giving him too much, but it was too much for him.
Mitch Morrissey's a veteran prosecutor and a former Denver district attorney.
That's where this kind of changes from something that helped the prosecutor to seriously hurting the prosecutor.
He says the amended autopsy likely helped the prosecution get a grand jury to indict because they only needed to prove probable cause, but believes the new autopsy could become a problem for prosecutors at trial.
I think they're going to have real problems then getting to the beyond a reasonable doubt hurdle, and that's where these documents become a weapon for the defense.
Morrissey says he thinks this will come down to a battle of medical experts at trial. Now, we did reach out to Elijah McLean's mom, Shanine McLean. Her attorney told us they are not commenting. Jessica?
Definitely some new revelations today that we were a little bit unexpected.
And still troubling.
A lot to go through and a lot of new details.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. Now, we have been following this story for 3 years now, and the Denver7.com digital team has put together a timeline of the Elijah McLean case. And you can head to the website now. You can scroll through the timeline and the entire autopsy report.
Move your car! Stay back!
Our other top story tonight, shocking dash and body camera video coming from the Platteville Police Department tonight. These are the moments a train barreled into a police cruiser parked on the tracks in Weld County with a woman inside that vehicle. An officer pulled the woman over, put her in the back of his patrol cruiser, and while officers searched her vehicle, the train crashed into the patrol car. She is suffering serious injuries. Now her family is taking legal action. Denver 7 spoke with their lawyer about their next steps, and we'll have that interview right here on Denver 7 News at 6.
A private funeral is planned for tomorrow for Weld County Sheriff's Office Deputy Alexis Hynutz. The deputy was killed by a hit-and-run driver last Sunday while riding her motorcycle to work. Deputy Hynutz had been with the sheriff's office since 2018, and the sheriff describes her as a hard worker and a caring individual. The funeral is not open to the public, but will be live streamed on the foundation's church website.
Several Adams 12 schools on high alert today after an attempted kidnapping outside a Thornton school.
Just in the last hour, Thornton police released these new photos showing the man police say is trying to grab a 10-year-old student just before school started at STEM Launch K-8. And luckily, the child was able to get away, and that man then took off.
Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen spent the day at the school digging into what happened.
Here at the school, Thornton police are releasing some updated information. They say the suspect is described as a man who's about 5'8". We know what he was wearing, but they also say he was wearing a mask and gloves. They say he's associated with a dark-colored sedan, SUV, or crossover, and they don't know the make or model. Parents we talked to are very concerned. Just as school was about to start this morning, these images, police say, show a man grabbing a 10-year-old student outside STEM Launch. The child managed to escape, but so did the would-be kidnapper. While police combed the school grounds for evidence, some parents, like Carissa Quintana, rushed to pull their children from class.
No parent, wants to hear about their child being almost abducted.
The Adams 12 school district took it so seriously, 3 schools in this neighborhood, STEM Launch, Federal Heights, and Hillcrest Elementaries, all required parents to pick up their children in person at the end of the day with a photo ID. A long line forming outside the school as parents waited to be reunited with their children.
Like I said, pretty upsetting, but at least they provided a safe environment today and now a secure procedure for picking them up. I'm not sure what else they can do to mitigate psychos in society.
As the school boosts safety procedures, Thornton police are increasing patrols in the neighborhood, asking for any information about what happened to help put these parents' minds at ease.
I walk them home and walk them to school, so I'll be with them. They're not going to be alone.
In Thornton, Jacqueline Allen, Denver 7.
Coming up, broadband internet has been denied for years in Lone Tree. We take a look at what needs to be done to make sure residents can vote to expand it this November.
Temperatures bounce back today. I'll let you know if those 80s will continue through the weekend.
Plus, even some of the busiest cities in the country are struggling to find fresh produce. How a Colorado company is hoping to change that.